Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss some of the synopsis points regarding the topic, first year topic called sets. First we are moving with the definition of sets. A set is a well-defined collection of distinct objects is known as set. Sets are usually denoted by some capital letters called capital A, capital B and C and etc. And members of the sets are called elements. So usually elements are nothing but either alphabets or some numbers or some other objects we can include in that. So we can represent these sets in two ways. One is roster method, listing method or tabular method, this we can call. So in this method, we list all the elements of the set in a row, separating them by a commas. If a set has elements called L, M and P, Q, so we write this as flower bracket. We will include this arrangement in between a pair of flower brackets. That is L, M, P and Q. So second method is called set builder method. In this method, a set is represented by a characterized property called Q of X. Here some general character will be written for the objects which are present in the sets. If A contains all values of X for which the condition Q of X is true, then we write A, X such that Q of X or A, X such that Q of X where or slash is read it as such that we can call this symbol what we represent X such that we can use hyphen or we can use that standing column. So is read it as such that we can call in this. So representation of set builder form. And next, some notations to identify the sets is the first we start with the first set called natural numbers, the set of all natural numbers. It is denoted by capital N. Capital Z is nothing but the set of all integers. Capital Q is nothing but the set of rational numbers. So R is the set of real numbers. And in this, there are three important notations which we need to remember is Z plus, Q plus and R plus. So Z plus is nothing but the set of positive integers. Q plus is nothing but the set of all positive rational numbers. R plus is nothing but the set of real numbers, positive real numbers, positive rational numbers and positive integers. So this is one of the very important notation which we use generally in the sets. Types of sets. So we will define two types of sets here. One is called finite and infinite sets, and next set of sets are equivalent equivalent sets. So finite set is nothing but what a set whose elements can be counted or which can be countable. So such sets we can call it as finite sets, which is not possible to count the number of elements which are present in the set, that is called infinite set. So next is equal and equivalent sets. Two sets A and B are said to be equal if A and B having identical elements. Means whatever the elements are present in A, the same element should present in B, irrespective of their orders. But if we want to say that equivalent sets, the number of elements of first set should be equal to the number of elements of second set. It is not necessary that the elements which are present in the set should be same. So equal sets are always equivalent, but equivalent sets may or may not be equal. This is one of the very important note which we need to remember. So next set is null or empty sets. A set having no elements means there is no element inside the set. Such sets are nothing but null sets. There are so many examples we can give for that, and it is denoted by usually phi, or else we can make empty flower brackets which we are not supposed to write anything in that, a pair of flower brackets. So this is also a notation for the null set. So next we will move into some special types of sets. So one is called subset. So second one is superset and proper subset and power set. See, subset is nothing but what A set is said to be a subset of B. Means there is a set, we are going to write a subset for that particular set. Set A is said to be subset of B if every element, if every member of set A is also the member of set B. So it is denoted by usually A is subset, or sometimes it may be an equal set also. So A is subset or equal set of B. If A is not a subset of B, then we can write it as A is not a subset of B. So next, some important notes which we need to remember. Empty set is a subset of every set. Every set is always subset of itself. Total number of subsets of a set having n number of elements will be equal to 2 to the power of n. This is one of the very important formula which we need to remember to write the number of elements in the subset, number of subsets of a given set. Next is superset. If A is subset or equal set to the B set, then B is called superset of A. So and we write this is B is also a superset of A. Means the number of these two are called equivalent sets and equal sets we can call this. A is a subset or equal set of B. B is superset of A, then we can call. So proper subset, if A is a subset of B and A is not equal to B, then it is called as a proper subset. Means subset is nothing but a set itself Also we can call it as a subset, but while writing the proper subset we are not supposed to include the same set as a subset. So that's why A is not equal to B we written. Then A is called a proper subset of B, then we can write it as only A is a subset of B. In the above we can be written it is a subset or equal set of B, but here we write only a subset of B. Then power set, the set of all subsets if we include in a flower bracket, in a pair of flower bracket, then we can call it as a power set. Means it is including subset itself also we include in that, that is called power set. So power set, it is a collection of all subsets of a given set including a null set and the set itself. Universal set, if all sets under consideration are subsets of a larger set, then this larger set is called a universal set and it is denoted by capital U. Then intervals we have to remember. First is closed interval. We know that it is denoted by we include the elements with comma with a pair of brackets. So open interval. So here how we write if we write in inequality form x such that a is less than x is less than b is an open interval and it is written as common brackets. We write in between common brackets. We will write the includes. We are not supposed to consider those two upper and lower elements. Semi-open set. Semi-open set is nothing but, so upper element we are not supposed to consider, lower element we are not supposed to consider, we have to consider upper element. And semi-closed also the same. So lower element we should consider and upper element we are not supposed to consider. Venn diagrams, if two sets A and B are joint but A is not equal to B, then we can represent this Venn diagram in this form. If A and B are disjoint sets, then we have to represent the two sets separately. If A is a subset of B, then we include a set A inside the set B. So union of sets, the union of two sets A and B is a set C, which consists of all those elements which are either in A or in B. Means we include the elements in the unions in such a way that, so the elements which should present both in A as well as in B, the total elements which we can write in the set, then we can call it as union of set. So properties of union, A union B is always equal to B union B. So A union B union C equal to A union bracket B union C. This is called associative law. And A union null set is equal to A. This is called identity element. So where that null set acts as an identity set in this sets. A union A equal to A. This is called idempotent law. And U union A is also equal to A. Law of union we can call this. Then intersection. So in this we write the elements which are common in both A and B. That is called intersection of the set. So here the element should present as well as in A as well as in B. So properties of intersection, A intersection B is always equal to B intersection A. Means intersection of sets is always commutative. So A intersection B intersection C is equal to A intersection bracket B intersection C. So always the intersection of sets is associative. So null set with, if I take an intersection with the null set, always you'll get a null set. And if I take an intersection with union set with any set, then same set we'll get always. So law of null set and union we can call this. A intersection A is always equal to A. This is called idempotent law. So here distributive law will get, so union over intersection as well as intersection over union. So A intersection B union C equal to A intersection B union A intersection C. So difference of sets, the difference of set A and B in this order is a set of elements which belongs to A but not in B. So while writing A minus B, we have to write the elements which are in A but they should not be in B. So it is denoted by A minus B. So complementary set, if U be the universal set and let A be the subset of U, then A is a subset of U. Then complementary of A with respect to U is the set of elements which are belongs to U but not in A. That is nothing but U minus A we can call this. Then some properties of related to complements of a set. So A union A dash is always equal to universal set. A intersection A dash is always equal to null set because A and A dash are disjoint sets. So De Morgan law, A union B whole dash is always equal to A dash intersection B dash. Similarly, A intersection B whole dash equal to A dash union B dash. Law of double complements, that is called A dash whole dash is always equal to A. Law of empty set and universal set means if we take a complement of a null set is always equal to universal set. If I take a complement of universal set is always equal to null set. So applications of sets, let A and B are, means this is the relation between the number of elements which are present in A, B and its union and intersection. Let A and B are finite sets and A intersection B is equal to null set, then n of A union B equal to is always equal to n of A plus n of B. If A and B are finite sets such that A intersection B is not equal to null set, then n of A and B equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. If A, B, C are three finite sets are present, in that case, the relation between the elements and the union intersection is always equal to n of A and B union C equal to n of A plus n of B plus n of C minus n of A intersection B minus n of A intersection C minus n of A B intersection C plus n of A intersection B intersection C. So these are the points which we need to remember regarding the sets.